Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. This video is about the freedom of religion and my right to prove definitively that the Jews are not chosen. And if you look at it in terms of Judaism, then they're no longer chosen, and that the die is cast. So 3 chapters in the Bible prove my point definitively. Isaiah 57, Jeremiah 18, and Leviticus 26. Again, that's Isaiah 57, Jeremiah 18, and Leviticus 26. Now in Isaiah 57, which is a chapter I cite quite often, it says that the righteous are taken away to be spared from evil, and that the wicked are going to remain on the planet, and they're the offspring of a prostitute, offspring of a sorceress, and there's going to be a lot of punishment for them. And obviously, after they're done being punished on this planet, they're going to hell. Everyone knows that, right? You do the wrong thing, you go to hell, right? Pretty straightforward. Now, this is a later chapter in Isaiah 57. Isaiah, in chapter 1, was calling the Jews names because they refused to do the right thing time and time again. So he called them, children who are inclined to be corrupt and evil since their birth, what have you, right? They were continually evil. And so by the time we get to chapter 57, he says, enough is enough. Look, this is what's going on here. And God himself has told me that the righteous are taken away. Those who remain here are going to hell. That is what Christ in the New Testament was talking about, a new heaven and a new earth. Okay, and it's kind of said in a mystery manner that confuses it. For those who care enough about righteousness and justice, they see the truth there. Now again, regardless of what race you are, you can rally to me and obey God through me. Okay, I'm not racist. But you need to understand what's going on here. In Jeremiah chapter 18, it talks about the potter's house. And Jeremiah 1 starts in a way that's similar to Isaiah 1, where God says he's going to make him this fortified wall to stand against the Jews. Said they're going to keep lying to you. They're going to say, hey, we're chosen. You can't say that, and things like this. And you're going to stand firm. And if you give in to them, then you're going to be thrown into hell with them. Right? And keep in mind, Jeremiah, like Isaiah, is a Jew. Okay, that's what the Old Testament is saying. The Tanakh, what have you. Okay, it goes back to the Torah, the first part of the Old Testament, what have you. That's what it's saying. It's saying that the vast majority of them are doing the wrong thing, not the right thing. In Jeremiah chapter 18, it says, if any nation that I've told, I'm going to build up, I'm going to, establish them, I'm going to have a covenant with them, you name it. If any nation that I've said I'm going to build up and plant does the right thing, I'll reconsider that. And that's what we see all throughout the Old Testament, right? God is punishing, God is punishment. And this leads them, again, it's about the potter's house, right? God is the potter, they're the clay, they're the pot. He can make them any way he wants, he can destroy them. That's the whole point of that. He said, look, he's God, he's going to do what he intends to do. And it's going to be in the boundaries of righteousness and justice. Now we see in Leviticus 26, it goes into detail. We see that it says, hey, if you do the wrong thing, I'm going to punish you 7 times over. If you keep doing the wrong thing, I'm going to punish you 7 times over again. And the number 7 is biblical, right? It's very key. It occurs again and again. The 7 abominations that fill the heart. They talk about the 7 deadly sins in popular culture. The righteous fall 7 times, they rise again. What have you? So as the world is going to hell, if those individual Jews are really righteous, that they're going to rally to the King of Kings. Now, we see in the Old Testament that a certain Cushite named Ebed Melech or something like this, he's favored by Jeremiah and God. And God rescues him while throwing the rest of them under the bus. We see in Proverbs 17, it says, a prudent servant will rule over a disgraceful son. So it's saying definitively that the covenant is a covenant of spirit, like it says in the New Testament, right? It says that the spirit is everything, the flesh means nothing. So the spiritual family of God, right? Those who obey the commands of God are my family, is what it says in the New Testament. And this is just, explaining the Old Testament. It's the most logical interpretation of the Old Testament. If you read the Old Testament enough, you think with your heart, and you insist on justice, you're like, duh. Okay? If you have 3 kids and 1 servant, and those 3 kids don't do the right thing, and the servant scrambles and becomes the top martial artist ever possible, and he's righteous, he's going to be the one that you make the king, not your flesh-based kids. You're not going to say, well, I'm citing the covenant. That servant is part of the covenant because he's in your same spirit. So we can therefore ascertain that I'm the one God set apart as king based on my focused moral intensity arguments, my universal pinpoint and moral precision argument. Okay, my explanation in this video. I've never heard anyone explain it this well other than me. Have you? And my top martial arts challenge, right? I'm the root and offspring of David and the bright morning star. 1 Samuel 17. Is it talking about the flesh? No. You'd have to remove Scripture, Proverbs, which says it's there to help you understand the rest of the books of the Bible. Proverbs 1 says this is to help you understand the riddles, the parables, the sayings of the wise. You'd have to remove that. Because it says a prudent servant will rule over a disgraceful son and share the inheritance as what? As one of the family. As what? As one of the family. As what? As one of the family. The word being used here in the Old Testament is family. Therefore, when Christ said that those who obey the commands of God are my family, not necessarily my brothers, my sisters, my mother, but those who obey the commands of God. Another point, he says, look, that is your son and that is your mother because they were obeying the commands. Galatians 3:28, there's no Jew or Gentile. There's those who are prudent and obey the commands of God and those who aren't. And the laborer is worthy of his hire. People are judged according to their deeds. Paul even has guidelines and commands in regards to who should be considered worthy to be a teacher and have a position in the church and who shouldn't be. And I've gone beyond all the churches put together with my top martial arts challenge. In a similar way that all the Jews fled but David stood firm. In a way, Goliath was saying, who really embodies your spirit and your God and who you are? And David said, me. The other guy said, not me, we're scared, right? Those guys then can't then turn around and say, look, I don't like the fact that he's shown us up. That's stupid, right? That is retarded. If they take that stance, they are fucking scum. And they're in rebellion. And they'll go to the lake of fire with the rest of the filth. It is impossible to hear this video and to not know that I'm right. How could you not know that I'm right about that? You think the guys who fled from Goliath should be elevated above David? Now what if someone stepped up but they weren't as great of a warrior as David? They weren't going to get the job done. I got the job done. The top martial artist ever possible. Martial is marital scrambled and I Christ and the bridegroom. While you people are fucking tail tucked, persecuting me like bitches.